Well, the moon is broken and the sky is cracked. Come on up to the house. The only things you see is all that you lack. Come on up to the house. Come on up to the house. Come on up to the house. The world is not my home, I'm just passing through. You gotta come on up through the house. All your crying don't do no good. Come on up to the house. Come down off the cross, we can use the wood. You gotta come on up to the house. Come on up to the house. Come on up to the house. The world's not my home, I'm just passing through. You gotta come on up to the house. Come on up to the house. Hello. Welcome to yet another episode of Justin Reads, a subsidiary of the Invictus Stream, a little branch off when there's nobody around to play role-playing games with. It's just me. It's just me. Where's Harlan and Joe, you ask? Well, Harlan is in Toronto, actually, which is the city I'm in, and Joe's in Toronto. Joe just finished a 10-day marathon of work, and it ended, her last day of that marathon was today, which happens to be her birthday. So Harlan took an Uber downtown, and they're spending the day and evening together. They're probably back home right now, and Joe is probably fast asleep. I would not be surprised. It's 8 o'clock. If I was just finishing a 10-day work marathon, I would be passed the fuck out. Beep that out, editor. Oh, wait. No, don't beep it out. This is an 18-plus show. Leave that shit in. Yeah, it's an 18-plus show. If you got your kids around, yeah, leave them. It's fine. Whatever. I don't know. I'm not the sweariest of the group, I would say. You know, I'm probably the tamest, maybe. If that's, at least on camera, I'm the tamest. Maybe Rob. Maybe Rob and I could have a death match for who's the tamest. Thank you guys very much for joining today. I'm glad to see that the stream is working. Let me know. I don't know what my levels are like right now. I don't know if I'm too loud or too quiet, or if you want me to turn up or turn down or what. So let me know. We got the Discord chat going. We got Mike. Yep, there's Discord chat. I see his comment in YouTube. And what else? Let's say hello. Hey, not enough musical Justin on this stream. Yes, well, yes, okay, so I saw someone notice that I was singing Tom Waits. It's a song that my roommate has been all about. He's crazy about that song. And he wanted, for our housewarming, for us to have a piano so that we could play that song for everybody who came in. But, alas, we don't have the piano yet, so... And I didn't really get it. I didn't really get the appeal. And I just went to a folk concert yesterday with the lead singer, a guy named Corin Raymond. I highly recommend you check him out. He's like the folk singer of Toronto. He just, like, the way he performs, if you have a chance to see him live, I highly recommend that. You can get his albums and stuff, but live, my God, he is just pure love radiating off the stage, which is something that's really nice to see. Yes, there is a Discord. Here, let me see if I can get that link to you. I don't know how to get the link to you. I can't really figure that out right now in Can I don't think I can copy links into the chat on YouTube. Look up the Invictus stream on Discord, and then Justin Reeds, Eric Thompson is asking. So yeah. Come on by. Come on down to the. Come on up to the Discord. So, anyways, this Tom Waits song. I listened to it again yesterday after the show, and I'm kind of starting to. I don't know, between the Corin Raymond thing and the Tom Waits. There's like this. I'm starting to see what my roommate's all about. He's definitely an extrovert, but creating this environment where people can just come and be together. And I love these lyrics. God, all your crying don't do you no good. Come on up to the house. Come down off the cross. We can use the wood. Come on up to the house. Like, just we all work so hard, we all put so many pressures on ourselves, and we think we can do it alone. We think that we have to, we have our own crosses to bear. Just forget about all that self-sacrificing bullshit. Just come on up, come hang out with some people, come have a few drinks, just be your ugly concerned, worried, tired, angry, self-loathing self. Let's do it together. Let's all be together. And I feel kind of like the world needs more of that, more sense of community in that way. Oh boy, okay, I got a lot of catching up to do. This is what always happens. I go on these long tangents, and you guys are amazing. You start filling up the chat, and then I have to catch up because I want to see what you guys are saying. So why do you have to roll on the floor? She does what she's got to do. Learn the words eventually. Exactly. Might as well be now in a controlled environment where you can be like, okay, what Justin means to say is, part of being super flexible means, okay, that's the rolling on the floor. Sweariest Canadian tame-off. That is true, Colin. Hello, Colin. Oh, yeah. That's something that I should definitely announce is this past Friday, we had the Chronicle Brewery Invictus mashup night where we all got together and we played some board games. And not board games. Pfft, who am I? Role-playing games. And TTRPGs, if you will. And my God, it was fantastic. I got to meet Carly McConnell and Colin Bro for the very first time, and they are lovely, lovely, lovely human beings, which I had no doubt of. But meeting them in person, it's always a bit of a risk. You never know. I mean, they might just be reining in their, their intensity on Discord. But no, they are absolutely lovely. I had a blast playing Deadlands with Colin. And Carly, I wish I'd had more time to see you, but I'm going to see you at Breakout Con. I'm going to see you, I'm sure, in Toronto. If you guys are ever wanting to come to the Invictus Chronicle thing, we'll let you know when it is. And come up to Toronto. It's as simple as that. You just gotta come on up to Canada. Justino, you're fine. Beautiful. Thank you. Mike is my sound guy. My remote sound guy. I must find this Corey Raymond. Oh, you know what? I'll give you guys the link. I'll share a link to that. If you want to hear, so he just released a book/album, which is for his new release. It's called Dirty Mansions. Dirty Mansions, and it's that idea too. Like there's like a lot of the songs talk about the small time, which is something that I've never really taken the time to learn to admire, I guess is a good way that I can put it, is just like he really does an amazing job with his lyrics and with his performances. God, his live performances, I tell you. And he is going on tour, so check out, where is he even going? I don't even know. Probably across Canada. But if you happen to be in Toronto on a Thursday night, he plays at the Cameron House on, I shouldn't be telling you all this. No, you guys are allowed. You guys are allowed. But if you are in Toronto and you're watching this and you aren't one of our good friends from the Invictus stream, stay away from this gig because it's filling up. I'm not supposed to tell people about it, but you know what? The more people support Corin Raymond, the better. So I'm at a conflict within myself. My God, I cannot stop talking about things that are not related to reading. Anyways, check out this book. It's I picked up a copy myself. It comes with the album. So the great thing is he tells stories for the first like half of the book. And he has like little poems and things that he's written and stuff. I don't know, it's not really a story. It's not a book. It's not even a collection of short stories. It's a collection of a whole bunch of different things. And then he has the songs and he tells the story behind each song. And then he shows the lyrics to the songs. And the idea is you listen to the CD and then you read the song and you listen to the CD and, go back and forth. It's beautiful. I think I shared it there. He's absolutely incredible. They can just copy paste it into the search. Michael Weber, message retracted. Michael Weber, what are you saying in the chat there? Okay, I'm all about that life. Did too. Hello, Colin. You made it. I didn't know what we were. Yes, Mighty Eric is here. Hello, Mighty Eric. Yes, welcome from YouTube to Discord. Much new chat. Just follow directions. Hey, well, here we go. Thanks for the link. Yes, please check it out. I think you guys will really enjoy it. If you like Bjorn in the Country, I don't know. I don't know if I can really compare the two. They're very, very different, but similar. I mean, guitar and stuff. I'm going to miss the stream tonight. Oh no, Colin Burkhart. Thanksgiving travel times. All right, you do your thing, man. Happy Thanksgiving. My beard looks great. Well, Zia, thank you very much. I've been growing it out for the winter. Finally, we have meandered around to a topic that actually has to do with what this stream is all about. Yeah. So, I feel like we've done a winter read thing before. I think we did like a Christmas sort of theme thing, and then it was kind of half winter, whatever. Really, I should have done a Thanksgiving theme, but I don't know how many short stories there are about Thanksgiving. But maybe I could have done something like things that you're grateful for. I don't know. Yeah. So we got a lot of suggestions. We got a couple written submissions from people from the stream, so those are definitely going to be read. We've got a few different, I think, paranormal stories that Aisha shared. If you're watching this and you didn't have a short story or anything that you wanted to share, that's completely fine. But if you do want to have something read, if you have a short story in mind or a poem that you would like me to read that has to do with winter, go ahead and share it in the comments. I shared a link the other day, and it's pretty much at the top of the Invictus stream on Facebook. Speaking of which, join the Facebook group. I don't know if there's anybody here who isn't a part of the Facebook group, but you got to check that shit out. This is the house that I'm talking about. This is where people congregate and, hang out. And that's, you know what? I would say that the Invictus stream Facebook group is a good digital representation of what Tom Waits is talking about. It's like we got all sorts and shapes and colors and animals and creatures, all varieties of people in that group, and it's an absolutely beautiful thing. I absolutely love everybody in that group. You guys, God, we don't have any issues. Like, yeah, sure, we get some people, saying some, rude things here and there, but God, it's been a long time since something like that's happened. We got Mama Bear Aisha. I don't know if you like being called Mama Bear, but I just did. Who looks after everything pretty much. She runs the Monday. What is it called? The Case of the Mondays post. Oh God, why am I blanking on the name? But then she does the Invictus Radio on Fridays and Table Talk Tuesdays, and a very regular staple. So thank you very much, Aisha, for all of the work that you do. And now we're back on another tangent. Also, I will say tomorrow, episode 8 of Dice Shame. I didn't know I could do that. Episode 8 of Dice Shame is going to be posted, well, I guess tonight at 1 a.m., I think. Yeah, 1 a.m. So check that out. It's a lot of fun. All right, no, not 8, 7. Episode 7. I'm currently working on episode 8. I'm adding in sound effects and little doodads and shit. But yeah, episode 7. Be sure to download that. And if you have not checked out Dice Shame, look at me giving you the stern parent. You really gotta you gotta listen to Dice Shame, all right? If you haven't listened to Dice Shame, then I don't know what you're doing with your life. And quite frankly, I feel like I don't even know you. All right? Listen to the dang Dice Shame. Shame on you. This is how you explain Dice Shame to people, because it's all about shaming. Which is kind of negative, like to shame, but we're shaming inanimate objects, and the idea is that eventually maybe those inanimate objects will go to supportive homes because we're assholes, and you guys are lovely people. Yeah, Dad Finger. That's it about Dice Shame. If you haven't checked it out, yeah, man, like it's a lot of fun. I love it. I don't really listen to live play podcasts, and I'm obviously biased, but I do enjoy listening to Dice Shame. I do. I mean, I think obviously, yes, I am biased because it's my own friends and I care about them. But come on, check it out. Do it now. Should I do the entire read today as Arnold? Hello, hi there. Hello, it's me, Arnold. Hi. Are you ready? Are you ready to read about the winter? Yeah, I remember a time when I was reading in the winter time. Yeah, and I was outside, and I was naked in the snow because I'm Austrian, yeah. And I was reading, and all of a sudden, someone came up to me and said, "You, Arnold Schwarzenegger, why are you reading, you pansy? Why aren't you lifting iron?" And I say, I am lifting iron. Iron in my mind. I love Arnold. I love myself. Yeah. All right. I'm going to read some shit. There he is. Oh, Michael and Brianna, thanks for swinging by. Sorry to hear you're sick. Sleep well. I will read you a bedtime story. A bedtime story written by Mike Kyle. I really don't know if it's a bedtime story, though, Mike. We're going to hear it. Mike was the first person to comment, and he sent me a link to a story that he wrote. Thank you very much, Mike. Okay, so I'm hot damn. All right, I'm going Southern. Let's see. I don't know anything about these characters. Gus, Marv. Yeah, we can do Southern, I think. Jess. Okay. I'm gonna read this. Like it's like a small time. Like these people are part of the small time. I don't know how you make someone sound like they're small time. Smokers. Okay, here we go. I don't know. Well, that's obviously, I don't know, a generalization. Pleasant rest. Maybe if you want nightmares. Oh, okay, it's horror. Okay, good to know. That's good to know. Here we go. The very first story of the winter Justin reads. Dark Heart of Winter by Mike Kyle. Excuse me. They are small time? Okay. Hot damn, but it's cold, Marv says for what seemed like the 100th time. It ain't news to me, though. I know it's cold. I've been trying to keep this meager fire going from what busted up furniture we could find since the firewood ran out a few days ago. Gus, our cousin, went out to get firewood about an hour ago. I hope to hell he hurries. This damn fire's about to die. At least there aren't any of those crawlers out there. That's what people call those critters that are nothing but mouths, tentacles, and eyeballs that have been popping up since the fall. They call it the fall because those damn critters and worse stuff fell from them spaceships a while back. All them things have been up in the big cities like Detroit, though at least that's the last we heard before the power and internet went nuts up. We've been in this cabin for a while now. It must be about 4 weeks since we got up here for our hunting trip. We come out here to get away from town. People was starting to act funny and supplies were getting low. We thought we'd be okay out in the old hunting cabin. There's a stock of canned food there as well, and a well. We figured when we ran out of food, we could get some more by hunting. The woods have been mighty quiet, though. It's like everything's been laying low. We tried to leave before, but the damn truck was fried. Seems like none of them gadgets work. My brother, Herb, went out for a few days back, but never did come back. He's probably out there froze stiff because that blizzard came through the morning after he took off. I try not to think about that. It'll be us froze stiff soon if Gus doesn't hurry the hell up. Jess starts bitching about how the beer is all gone again. Then Marv starts up his moaning about the cold, and I tune them out. They just won't shut the hell up, though. And I'm about to tell them to go can it when the door creaks open, and Gus stumbles in. He's looking green around the gills, like he ate something that don't sit right with him, and his eyes are all glassy, like the eyes of a buck we got hung over the fireplace. "Where's the wood? We ain't got nothing to keep this damn fire going," I say, but he just stares at me. "I wish we had some damn beer," Jess says again. Marv starts to say something, probably something about how damn cold it is, but Gus reaches out and grabs him. He starts shaking, and some weird thing shoots out of his mouth. It looks like long spider legs. They latch onto Jess's face. Jess starts bucking and jerking. Gus lets him go and turns toward Marv. Jess falls to the floor, squirming. Marv yells out and runs at Gus. He get grabbed, and that thing shoots out of Gus's mouth again. Marv hits the floor just like Jess did. I don't know what the hell's going on, but I ain't about to get tangled up in that mess. Gus jerks around and starts stalking toward me. He's moving all stiff like he don't know how to move his body no more. I managed to get to the shotgun and let loose right at him. Gus stumbles back a bit, but starts coming on again. Worse, Marv and Jess are back on their feet, coming at me too. They got those spider legs things coming out their mouths, and they're looking mighty hungry. There's no place to run here. It's just the one room in the cabin. I break out one of the windows with the cast iron frying pan and just manage to get out as one of them grabs onto my leg. For a second there, I think I'm toast and I'm gonna end up like the others, but my pant leg tears and I get loose. I can hear them raising hell in the cabin and don't dare slow down enough to look back. I know they'll be coming soon. I don't know where the hell to go. At least I had my coat on in the cabin. Still, it's damn cold. I don't know how long I run before I start hearing the brush rustling and thrashing a ways back. I know they're gonna get me before long if I don't find a place to hide. I'm all covered in sweat and out of breath when I spot a dark spot in the snow. I swerve toward it and see that it's a cave. There might be a bear in there, but at least it's winter and they're most likely sleeping anyway. Being ate by a bear can't be as bad as freezing to death or getting whatever happened to the others. I take my chances and dive on in. It's dark as a miner's asshole in here, but when I light a match, I see that I got the place to myself. I get to the back of the cave and see a crack just big enough for me to squeeze through. I make myself as small as I can and squirm on into the crack. It opens into a larger area. I guess you'd call it a cavern. At least I'll be safer in here. It's a bit warmer in here, too. Still, I ain't got no food or water. I don't know how long I can stay without starving to death. Wouldn't that be a treat? Getting away from whatever the hell Gus and the others have become, only to starve to death. Some times go by. I light a match and check my watch and see that it's 9 o'clock. Lucky it's the winding height that don't need no batteries to run, or I wouldn't even have that. I guess I've been in here going on 4 hours. I haven't heard a damn thing from outside. I guess I lost them. I'm starting to finally feel safe when I hear this skittering noise coming from the dark. I don't know what the hell it is, but it don't sound good. I light another match and see dark little things moving around. Oh, hell. Something's in here with me. The sounds are all around me now. I also hear these squishing noises, and something grabs my leg. I get loose and run. I bonk off the wall and almost fall down, but grab hold. Ah, the crack! I'm right by that crack. I come in. I get my ass back into the crack and work my way back to the cave. I still hear those squishy skittering noises behind me, though, and it makes me hurry all the faster. I heave a sigh of relief when I finally get back to the cave mouth. It's full night now, and I don't hear a thing out there. I can't say the same for the cave behind me. Those things are coming. I run out into the snow and cold. Something grabs me and jerks me around. It's Gus. He's got a good hold on me, and I can't let loose. It wouldn't matter anyway. Jess and Marv are there, too. Gus leans all close like he's gonna kiss me, and I feel something hard and scratchy moving into my mouth. Something hits me like an electric shock, and the world goes dark. I come around, I don't know how long later. I'm moving alongside Jess, Gus, and Marv. I say moving, but it's more like my body is moving. I don't have no control over it. I feel like a puppet, and maybe somebody else is moving my strings. Things are getting a bit fuzzy. I guess I don't have long left in the world. At least I don't feel the cold no more. Hey, very nice, Mike. Dark of Winter by Mike Kyle. There you have it. That is that is great. That is fantastic. That's the second book that or story that Mike has written here for the Justin Reed's show. And yeah, thank you very much. I very much enjoyed that. Your writing is definitely coming along. I remember the first story that you wrote. The last time it was a boy watching. He's watching someone turn into a zombie. He's like looking out his window, and he sees like a zombie approach, and they look cold, and he's like wondering if he should let them in or something like that. Take care, Langdon. Great having you. Thanks for recognizing that Tom Waits tune. Yeah, round of applause for Mike Kyle. That's fantastic that you're still writing, and I hope that you will write me another one for the next stream. Ooh, what have we here? Herb, nice, love it. All of this popped into your head, and you wrote it out in 5 minutes. That's great. That's fantastic. You got to keep writing, man. Keep on writing, and like you're definitely, you got a good start. You're well on your way. It's just an art and a craft that the more you do it, the better you get. And I hope that you will continue and make it a regular thing, because I really like this trajectory you're on. Well, it's already horrifying. Nicely done. Harlan says, sorry I couldn't be here tonight. Love you all. Well, I love you too, Harlan. Hope you're having a blast with the Joester. I should read The Egg after. It's super short. Well, I will save The Egg for the end, because we got some other good stuff to get to, but I will get the link going here. Is this Andy Weir? I know him. Andy Weir is the author of The Martian. Fantastic author. And I imagine he was known like within the literary world before The Martian. But cool thing about The Martian was that it became famous because of the audiobook, not because of the actual book itself. Fun fact. There you go. Audiobooks are valid. All right. It was called, oh yes, Daddy. Don't even read this one. Your doorbell had detected. Is it winter themed, Harlan? Is it winter themed? These don't sound winter themed. I don't think it's winter themed. No, it is not. I shall not read it, for it is not related to winter. But I will save it for a future stream. If there's time. If there's time for it, I might be able to squeeze it in there. Are you having fun? Are you having fun with Joe? Are you actually listening right now? I guess you are. Are you guys back in Ajax already? If you have a winter themed short story, I'm more than happy to read it. Yeah. Yeah. I'm here for you. Bet Harlan. Get the dad finger out. Dad shame, where we shame like fathers. Dopity. Well, thanks for listening a bit. All right, what do we got next? Nice. Yes. Mellowing out. Oh. All right. Yeah, I'm surprised she's still awake. Boo, boo, boo. Well, you guys have a fantastic night. We're going to change gears, or we're going to shift gears. We're going to change outfits. We're going to change outfits here and strip into some totally different genre. Written by a fellow stream Terry Erickson, who has been writing a series about a wizard and an orc. And we have the second installment of Ark the Orc and Wilbur Azkarat, Wizard of Yugswell, Chapter 2, The Prince's Beard. And this is a fantasy-themed, obviously. This is, yeah. It's fantasy-themed, and let's get into it. Yeah. We need a palate cleanser from the dark body horror of Dark Heart of Winter to something a bit more Zeus-like and pretty zany from the last installment that I do remember. Let us do it. Ark the Orc and Wilbur Azkarat, Wizard of Yugswell. Chapter 2, The Prince's Beard. As the wind whipped through a snow-filled pass, there we find Ark the Orc and Wilbur Azkarat in the midst of a grand adventure. Trudging through the banks one step at a time, with an icicle dangling from the tip of his bent hat and frost in his beard, Wilbur asks, "Remind me why I'm freezing my tushes off here, Ark?" Ark's hot breath steamed in the frigid air as he looked over his huge shoulder at the small man.
"Ark am good. Ark can cave, friends. Ark will cave, friends."
With a grimace, Wilbur immediately replied, "Sure, we trudge through this snow to save a dwarven prince. You do know dwarves are renowned warriors, right?" Ark grunted as he rubbed a distinctive scar on his right shoulder. "You would think that someone is already on their way. Also, usually it's a damsel in distress the hero goes to save." Ark stopped and spun on his heel to look the man in the face.
"Cry, cry, cry. You go home, go."
Ark shouts angrily,
"Ark cave, friends. Ark am good."
Wilbur started stammering, I didn't mean... Well, sure, I'd like to go home, but..." Wilbur shook his head. "Steady on, friend. I am here to help you, Ark. I'm sorry. Shall we continue?" With a huff and a small growl, a large plume of steam escaped between Ark's tusks as he turned and continued to march up the mountain. At the crest of the valley, they were able to see out over a dark, thick pine forest, surrounding a tower with a little wisp of smoke curling out of a chimney in a clearing. "That must be where we are going," Wilbur said, exhausted by the climb. Ark looked down into the trees.
"Bad barks in there."
"Well, if you mean wolves," Wilbur says, weaving, "they usually stay away from bright lights." With a flick of the wrist, a bright orb of light floated off his fingertip. As the sun went down, the pair began to slowly pick their way through the pines. Tall and thick, swaying in the breeze, branches interlocked. Suddenly, Ark's ears perked up.
"Bad barks, see,"
he says in a growling whisper. "I know that," Wilbur says shakily, "but I can't just put this light out." They didn't even get one step when the branches exploded into a cloud of powdered snow and sharp teeth. With a mighty swing and a feral growl, Ark struck the wolf flying through the branches.
"Run!"
Ark shouted, keeping Wilbur in front of him as he crashed through the trees. Branches slapped and cut his cold, chapped face as they ran. Behind them, the wolves gave chase, biting, yipping, barking. A wolf burst through the trees and sunk its teeth into Ark's leg. With a howl of pain, he pulled its muzzle open and tossed it aside. Just then another wolf tackled Wilbur. With a shriek, he was on the ground with a wolf biting his arm. Wah! With a swift gesture and a word of power, the wolf flew back as if thrown by an invisible man. Ark scooped up his friend on his way by. "Well, I am certainly thankful for you, Ark. You are good." Wilbur patted the orc on the side. As he looked ahead, he saw a strange break in the trees. "Watch out!" Wilbur yelled when he realized they were rushing towards a cliff. Ark skidded to a halt at the edge of the cliff. Looking around frantically, he pulled a rope with a hook on it. He threw the rope around the nearest tree and took a flying leap off the cliff's edge. As the slack went out of the rope, Ark's back slammed against the stone wall. As the air rushed out of his lungs, he lost his grip. Wilbur and Ark fell to the ground. As they fell, Wilbur muttered a spell, and a cocoon of force wrapped around them. When they hit the ground, they bounced instead of splatting. When they hit the scree, they rolled instead of sliding. When they got to the snowbank at the bottom of the hill, they went right through it, so that when the spell ended, they were buried. Ark dug himself out first. Panting, he looked for the wizard. He saw Wilbur's legs sticking out of the snow next to him, so he grabbed him by the ankles, and with a mighty heft, his friend was free.
"You good?"
Ark asked the wizard. Wilbur's beard was covered in snow, and his pointed hat bent even further down. "Do I look good? I was just carried like a sack of potatoes after nearly being eaten by a ravenous wolf." Wilbur looked up at Ark. "Put me down!"
"But Wilbur only say mice thing. Keep mean things to Ark's self," Ark said with a self-assured nod.
"Ark," Wilbur said with a sigh, "please put me on the ground." Ark slowly put Wilbur on the ground. The wizard stood and with a flick of his wrist flung all of the snow off of his body. "I appear to be uninjured. And you?" After a short pause, "Oh my, you're bleeding!" Ark put his hand on his forehead and felt something wet and hot. When he looked at his hand, it was only half covered in blood. He shrugged.
"Not bad, only small."
"Nonsense! Let me help." And with that, Wilbur set about wrapping the wounds. When the sun came up the next morning, it filled the basin with golden rays that twinkled across the fresh frost on the snow. As they drew near the tower, they could not find a door.
"What door?"
Ark asked, scratching his head. Wilbur shook his head. No, where is the door? Come now, it hardly sounds like you're trying," Ark grunted. "It looks like you'll have to climb." Ark walked up to the wall of the tower. He put his left hand on the stonework, but instead of the gap between the stones he was expecting, all he found was ice. He walked all the way around the tower. Try as he might, Ark couldn't make any headway, as the tower was covered in smooth, slippery ice. "This won't do," Wilbur said, and with a flick of his wrist, a bolt of purplish-green fire sprouted from his palm, slamming into the wall of ice. After the smoke cleared, he examined his handiwork. The arcane fire hadn't done anything. Just then, they heard a shout.
"Oi! You're going to knock this thing over!"
The gruff voice was coming from a window near the top. "We are here to rescue you," Wilbur shouted. "Why don't you toss something down for us to climb up?" There was a clamor as things were banged together and furniture overturned.
Well, I have something, but...
There was a pause.
Didn't you intrepid adventurers bring a rope?
Well, we did, but we used it when... Wilbur was saying as Ark broke in.
Bad barks. I'm good. Cave French. Throw now.
Ark was shouting at the window, his impatience plain to see.
Well, I never,
the voice responded as fiery braided hair flowed down from the window at least 40 feet up. Well, Wilbur handed the braid to Ark. I guess we climb. Do you mind, big guy? Wilbur said, pointing at Ark's shoulders. Ark grunted. Climbing up the hair, they heard grunts and groans from above.
Hey, you mind? Ow, ow, ow! Hurry it up, ouch!
Climbing through the window there before them stood a 4-foot-tall dwarf, nearly as round as he was tall, rubbing his chin. Coiled around his feet and out the window was the longest beard that anyone had ever seen.
You both came up at the same time? What is wrong with you?
Listen, Wilbur said. I've reason to believe there is some kind of magic holding you here. We need to go, sire. We may need your beard, though. Without a rope, we'll never get down.
What? An assault on the princess' beard? Never, sir. Never!
The dwarf roared. Now, listen! If we don't get you out of this tower, you can't go home, and what good will all your vanity do you then? Wilbur insisted with Ark standing over his shoulder. Sheepishly, the prince agreed to the three of them climbing down his beard to safety. They then made an uneventful trip back to the village of Yugswell. Wilbur relaxed, falling back into his chair, away from his crystal ball. We'd better bring 2 ropes, Wilbur mutters as he falls asleep, exhausted. Suddenly, there is a pounding on his chamber door.
Wilbur! Ark get quest! Cave Dork Friends!
The end. Oh my god, that's hilarious. Oh, Terry, that was a lot of fun. That's great. It was like, that was definitely Rapunzel, obviously, but man, just like reading in that style, there is something really satisfying of just being able to narrate something in that complete over-the-top orator, like children's Robert Munch sort of style. Like,
oh, bad box, I'm good!
You know, really getting weird and playful with it. Oh, that was a blast. Thank you very much. Better than the first? I think so. I don't really remember the details of the first one. Was it also based on a fairy tale? If so, I think that's kind of a cool kind of tack, like retelling these, well-known fairy tales. But I don't know if you're going for that kind of angle. But yes, that's what the beard looks like. Hey, we got New Hades here. Hello, Antonio. Antonio is a friend from Sound Booth Theater. He has been listening to our audiobooks and hanging out in our Discord. If you guys, actually, you guys on the Invictus stream, if you enjoy like listening to live stream narration, stuff like that, you should check out the Sound Booth Theater Discord group. Sound Booth Theater Live. I don't know if you can just search it. I think you probably can. Search it in Discord. I am Discord illiterate, but we have different booths for each of the different narrators. So while I'm narrating, depending on the project, some authors don't like it, but while I'm narrating a project, I'll just chill in the booth, and then you guys can like come hang out, listen, and just like share my workday with me. And it's good for you guys because like you get to listen to the story and just have something on the background. I like kind of having it on the background. Sometimes I listen to Jeff and just like, I might be painting or mudding or something like that. And it's cool to kind of have that. But for me, it's helpful as a narrator to just, there's like a mental switch that happens when you know that someone's listening to you. And it just kind of tweaks my performance a little bit. It helps me stay focused and stay energetic. But yes, so you check out the Sound Booth Theater group, and New Hades, you join the Invictus group, and then eventually we'll just all be one big happy family. Actually, New Hades, why don't you check out the Invictus Discord, because that's where most people are chatting. Yes, there is the Invictus stream. I wonder if I can just search it. I don't know how to do that. No, I guess not. How do I? I can send you a link. You know what? I'll just send you a link. I've got your Discord things, so you copy. There you go. I've sent it. Come join. We're all hanging out down in the Justin Reed's chat. And there is a beautiful beard gif there. Voila. All right. On to some Aisha suggestions. Thank you very much, Terry Erickson, for your submission. And I will say that, like, if you guys want to try your hand at writing some short fiction, if you do some creative writing, I highly encourage you to submit something to Justin Reed's. I really love that angle. If our community was bigger, we'd be able to do Justin Reed's strictly about. We could do like what's it called? Like a writer's prompt sort of thing, where you guys write something that's 2,000 words with a theme, and then I narrate it. I'd love to do that. Oh man. Maybe that's something I'll do with sound. No, I don't know. So I'm in this position right now where I am doing Justin Reed's on Invictus, but I'm doing Sound Booth Theater live on Sound Booth Theater. So I think for consistency, I'm probably going to just create one program, probably on Sound Booth Theater, because we're a narrating stream. So I'll probably just have that there, but I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to do that. So Justin Reed's would be on Sound Booth Theater, but it feels weird to put Justin Reed's on Sound Booth Theater. I don't know. At any rate, I like this idea of you guys writing material. Maybe what I'll do for Sound Booth, maybe I'll do like Invictus will be like community written stuff. Sound Booth Theater will be like, maybe we'll like get the authors to do it, but then authors are busy. I don't know. I'll have to think about it so much. If you guys have ideas of how I can do this, should I just do a show on Invictus and a show on Sound Booth? Maybe that's not a bad idea. Maybe that's how I should do this. Yeah. So, long story short, if you want to write, if you write something, let me know. I'll narrate it on stream. By the way, am I overblowing here? Am I like? I feel like I got pretty loud in that last one. Probably the next one won't be. It probably won't be so loud. Okay, so we got some no sleep. Some no sleep for y'all. So we're gonna get spooky again. Spooky. You're sleepy. It's not even 6 p.m. What's going on? I'm glad you're digging it, Eric. I have a literary boner. Thank you. How did you know? You see somebody's feet. Oh, is that Pokemon? That's Pokemon. Oh, I'm a little jealous. I missed my Pokemon cards. I don't know what happened to them. I think I gave them away. Yeah, I gave them away to a younger friend of mine. When I was like, I'm too old and cool for Pokemon. And now, I'm just old and I've embraced my not so cool. And I really want to fucking try Sword and Sealed. Pokemon Sword and Sealed. I am a narrator. PTCG for Game Boy Color. Loved that game, but could never beat it. PTCG? Oh, well, the story did? My hands suck. At least you have 2 of them. Winter is a spooky time of year. It gets 9 p.m. dark. Yeah, dark at 4 p.m. Yeah, I hear you. I'm in the same boat. Is that daylight savings nonsense? God, who farms anymore? Why do we need that? Let's see here. Someone's asking if I'm doing SBTL on Sunday. Yep, I am. All right, not so cool is the new cool. So it's like, in my not coolness, I've become cool, which means that I'm not cool anymore because I'm cool then. It's just a vicious cycle. Here we go. This is a suggestion by our very own Aisha Lyle. And I will say, once again, we've got lots of, pretty much the rest of the night is going to be Aisha Lyle suggestions, which I have no problem with. But, you know, to share the love, if you guys want to submit anything that we could listen to, or that I can narrate, please, you know, just Google something. Google some, you know, winter shit, and then be like, oh, that looks kind of interesting. Oh, that's a cool poem. Oh, that looks nice. Yeah, just do it. Why not? Why not? Let's make this interactive, yo. All right. Where am I? Who am I? Okay. Here we go. From the No Sleep Reddit group, written by Afterglow, it's not a winter storm. You can dismiss this as the paranoid ramblings of a senile old Yankee, but I'm writing to you today with a warning. It's not a winter storm like they said it was. I awoke last Tuesday at 7:30 a.m. to the sounds of my clock radio. It's always set to a local station. I just about lost my patience for national news a couple of years back. Maybe it's something about getting old, but my world started to shrink when I hit 50, and I let it. I've never been one to lend an ear to world affairs, or any affairs outside of my home state of Massachusetts, for that matter. I lived a quiet life as a fisherman on the docks in town, spending weeks at a time out to sea every year. All around, I've spent every calendar day at sea at some point in my life, even Christmas. I've seen storms so fearful that the pounding rain turned to bitter snow in front of my eyes, a rarity at sea. I've felt waves so large that they keep me awake even now, 20-odd years later. Right as I'm on the precipice of sleep, they threaten to pull me back to consciousness, just as they almost pulled me out into the sea. Forgive an old man his ramblings, but all of this is to say that I thought I knew what to expect when I heard the old radio newscaster say, "Batten down, folks, another winter storm coming later this week." As I wiped the sleep from my eyes, I half listened to the newswoman's lengthy list of preparation tips before smacking the off button and swinging my legs over the side of the bed, joints and floorboards creaking in unison. That was 8 days ago. Every day leading up to the storm, I've woken to broadcasts about its effects, and every day the messaging has become less and less clear. Wednesday it was, "Winter Storm Riley will cause even more damage than last week's storm." Thursday it was, "Cancel all your plans for Friday and Saturday, folks. The state advises all residents to stay in their homes until after the storm." Friday morning, I woke with a jolt to the grating beeps of the statewide emergency alert systems. I turned on my TV, which can usually be relied on to get at least a few channels. Not Friday. Friday, every screen was blank, except for a red banner at the bottom with the words, "State of emergency declared for coastal region of southern Massachusetts. Do not attempt to flee your homes." Moving across repeatedly, all while accompanied by that same grating 3-beep cycle. My stomach fluttered with uneasiness as I read the message a second time and fully grasped the choice of words. Flee? Why would a whole town flee at the thought of some wind and snow? We're nor'easters ourselves, after all. I put my robe on and made my way down the stairs to my back door, expecting the fearsome gales and pelting snow that I had come to expect from a life at sea. I opened the door to eerie, permeating quiet, the coastline cacophony that served as a constant background for my life here. The screaming of gulls and crashing of waves and howling of wind was utterly gone, and in its place was a silence so complete that it caused the back of my neck to prickle with a deep and foreboding sense of wrong. The sky was devoid of the heavy, foreboding gray clouds that the newscasters had promised, instead featuring a consistent blanket of greenish-gray fog high above the sea. I hurriedly closed the door, amplifying the distant sound of the 3 blaring beeps from my TV upstairs. I put a kettle of water on the stove before heading upstairs to get dressed, the uneasiness in my gut turning into an incessant gnawing as I turned to switch off the TV. The emergency alert at the bottom of the screen had changed to read, "Do not leave your home. Do not leave your home. Do not leave your home. Do not leave your home." Underneath my feet, the kettle began to shriek as the beeping of the television reached a heightened pitch. "Do not leave your home. Do 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 not leave your home." The television screen turned black with a pop, shutting down in coordination with my lights. A few seconds later, a sound with twice the force of a foghorn blast and the same thunderous intensity as a train blasting past roared over my head from the sea towards the mainland. A flash of green lit up the dim sky, for a second illuminating the same utter stillness from before. I waited in my house for 38 minutes before the noise and rumbling came thundering past from town back towards the sea. That was 5 days ago. The power came back on as soon as the noise was gone, as did the howl of the wind and crashing of the waves. It's what happened during those 38 hours. But it's what happened during those 38 minutes that has caused the gnawing in my gut to persist. They're saying the power outages were caused by heavy winds, but I don't buy it. I saw photos of the storm online, complete with heavy snow and wind-battered houses. That might be from some other town, but it sure as hell isn't from mine. We have no coastal flooding, no infrastructural damages or houses blown out to sea. What we have is thousands and thousands of dead birds. We have water that tastes like copper. We have bloated fish carcasses washing up on our beaches. I'm writing this today as a warning. I don't know what the hell happened last week, but it sure as hell isn't what they say it was going to be. If you're in the Northeast, take special care, and if they tell you not to leave your homes, you'd do well to listen. I'm telling you this today as a warning, because today I woke up at 7:30 a.m. to the words, "Winter Storm Quinn set to break later this afternoon, expected to cause even more damage than Riley. Bong. 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 Pardon me. Creepy. I do like a good winter storm, though. There's a part of me that's like, oh, that would be kind of nice. Just like, the internet's down, the power's out, just light some candles. Like, it'd be kind of nice to just, oh, okay, it's screen outside, like this, some creepy shit's happening. But, yeah, at least I get to, like, hang in, light some candles, have a fire, eat junk food. Like Earth Hour. Do you guys remember Earth Hour? Is that still a thing? Do people still do Earth Hour? I'm going to do Earth Hour this year. When is it? Is it in May? They have it in May? Yeah. I'm figuring out what to do for Sound Booth Theater Live. I'm running Sound Booth Theater this Sunday. Bear with me. On Friday, having a convo with Danny Cox on Fridays. Fried eggs. Beautiful. Okie dokie day. Let us continue on. Let us keep going. It was so windy today that the power went out when you were at physical therapy. Oh my goodness. Were you able to finish your physio? Work. Okay, all right, back to it. There's a bush. Sometimes I wonder how I do the work that I do. There is a bush I pass on the drive home that is trimmed wider in front than in the back, and it drives me nuts every time as like an uneven U. It's funny because like we've got like there's a Discord in the Discord of what I think people would be talking about. Like I'm like, oh, maybe they're going to be talking. Are they going to be? Is this comment going to be about the story? Are they commenting on how creepy it is or something? And then it's like, no, they're talking about like things that annoy them. And so I'm reading a comment expecting it to be about the story. I'm like, oh, there's a bush I pass on the drive home that it's trimmed white. I'm like, where is this going, Lauren? And then, and then it's to the other thing that is happening in the chat. Yeah, that shit does bother me. My aunt always tells this story of how she found out that this sense of this little particularness and making things right is genetic. It's in our family. My cousin, her daughter, and her were talking one day and sitting in their living room, and they have these candles, these like three like perfect candles just sitting in the middle of their coffee table. And when you buy new candles, the wicks are like down like this. They're flattened. Not always, but these ones were. And my cousin, like they're just in the middle of a conversation. My cousin just like reaches out and she flicks them up. And so my aunt thought that was odd. And then one day I went over, I didn't know about this situation, and I did the exact same thing. I was sitting on the couch talking to her, and I look at the coffee table and I see the perfect little candles with the wicks down. And I'm like, no. And I don't even like register it. I don't realize I'm doing it. I just flick them up. And so ever since then, she tells me about how that sort of thing is genetic, that, you know, everything needs to be, you know, particularly perfect. And I wonder why I did that with the candles. Like, what is it about candles that, you know, would make us do something like that? And I think that it has to do with the way media has portrayed candles. What a candle should look like. It's like I've got this internal blueprint. I don't know why this is a blueprint. I look like I'm putting on like a alligator novelty hat. Droopy candles are the worst. Oh, don't get me started on droopy candles. Ugh, broken candles are the worst. Ugh, God. Like where they've got like a little crack and a bend in them. Yeah, no. Nobody likes a limp dick candle. Hey, well, you don't know that. You don't know that, Antonio. There might be someone out there who specifically reaches for the slightly bent or pre-melted candles. You never know. You never know. It's a big world. My sense of order was outraged. That is a good way of putting it. So anyways, that has nothing to do with winter. Are you guys excited for the winter? Are you guys, do you guys have any big plans? Are you winter people? Do you even get winter? Or do you live in Bali? Or Bollywood? Do you live in Bollywood? Bollywood has nothing to do with Bali. Not necessarily. It probably has a lot to do with Bali, but it's a connection that isn't apparently made. I'm going to wait for your answers on your thoughts about the winter. And I'm going to read another story. Yes, I do believe I will. Okay. Uh-oh. I'll take it one further. You should be upright. You should light the tip of this place so it's a little burnt. Yes, you are 100% right, Lauren. This is Lauren. Rin. You can tell it's been a long time since I've streamed because I forget how to pronounce names. Lauren. Right? But yes, it should be upright. And you should light the tip of a candle even for display so that it's just a little bit burnt. Yeah, I agree. And like the like wide candles, they should be just a little bit like melted, just like a little bit, so that it's not a completely flat top. It has to be, you know, a bit concave at the top. It can't just be completely new because that looks sterile. It looks like a show home. I played a gig the other day, actually. My first Christmas gig of the season. It was at a house tour. It was at a house that was a part of a house tour in like some swanky neighborhood in Oshawa. And it was really interesting to me that what is, I guess, considered a warm home for, I guess the definition of warmth is different for different people. And like this home was like it was something out of a magazine. It was perfect. There were, little like glasses with little Christmas displays put in kosher salt, on top of perfectly folded Christmas tree napkins that were actually sewn together so that they would stay like that. Like red and green table runners and everything Christmas. It looked like a Netflix Christmas special. It was perfect. And it was warm. There was definitely a big part of me wanted just to have a glass of eggnog, rum and eggnog, and just chill on the beautiful ottoman that looked beautiful. And they had, this big like wall piece that said Merry Christmas. It was huge. It was like took up the entire wall, and gorgeously decorated Christmas tree, and it was all golds and whites and reds and greens. And immaculate. And it felt warm. It felt inviting, but it didn't feel lived in, which maybe what it is, like, because like I hesitate to criticize it because it's like it's gorgeous, but maybe what it was is that I felt this need, this drive to mess it up. I just wanted to be like, okay, now we've got this beautiful space. Now I want to fucking live in it. I want to, like, spill wine on the couch and get like scuff marks on the floor or something. Like, it's like, it's like having buying a new car, and no, it's not like buying a new car. There was something about it that I felt like the story of the house was not yet complete. It had potential to have the warmth that a house should have, that feeling of being lived in, but it didn't have that. It just had the beauty aspect, and probably some of those decorations I would have done away with as well. But then that kind of makes it. Blah, blah, blah. So, what do we got here? We got, Mighty Eric has shared some, oh my god, Houston, of course, you're from Houston. Of course. You're from Houston. Mike Kyle. Where are you from, Mike? I can't remember where you're from. Zia is from, I don't remember. Mike is from, is Mike Canadian? Are you Canadian, Mike? Fuck, I can't remember where anybody's from. Antonio's from Antonio. San Antonio. No, Antonio is from Atlanta. Or no, he's not from Atlanta, but he drove to Atlanta. I don't remember where Antonio's from. Oregon. Oh, Indiana. We drove through Indiana on the way to the con. Indiana, Oregon, Oregon. Georgia. Yes. Okay. Yeah, you are from Georgia. Beautiful. Oh, right. You're from Georgia. Just like a couple hours out of, it's like 1 hour or like 45 minutes outside of Atlanta. West of Atlanta. Yeah. I had the pleasure of meeting Antonio when I went down to not Dragon Con. Oh yeah, Dragon Con. Gen Con was the one that I went to with Invictus. And he chauffeured us. He chauffeured myself and some of the other narrators and people on the Sound Booth Theater team, and got us places safely. And there was one point I was a little nervous. We almost hit somebody. We didn't. Antonio spotted them in time, but they were crossing at a kind of weird spot, and it was. But I remember that because you always remember the impactful, like, whoa, those times. Yeah, that just flashed before my eyes. But yes, we did arrive safe. Everybody was safe. And yeah, we had a great time hanging out, drinking, eating Chinese food. I'm pretty sure. Were you there for the Chinese food night? I think you were. I got quite inebriated. The con was in Indianapolis, if the one I think you're talking about. The con was in Indiana. Gen Con was in Indianapolis. Yes, it was. He was very well hidden at the time. Yeah. It was like there was like he was hiding behind one of those poles. Those street corner pulls. I get you, man. I probably would have hit him myself. I just wouldn't have stopped. Where's Mike from? Oh, good old New York. It's up to you. We have Sound Booth Theater has one of our narrators, two of our narrators are from New York. Our communications manager lives in New York. Our head sound engineer lives in New York. And our Annie Ellicott just sang a concert with Jeff Goldblum in New York just a couple weeks ago. Has anybody... Okay, all right, Invictus, this is the fucking coolest thing. You guys got to check out... Have you listened to Jeff Goldblum's music? Jeff Goldblum has a jazz band that he plays with regularly. He's got like I think a weekly show in Seattle that he plays. If you're ever in Seattle, you should look up where he plays and go half an hour early. I shouldn't be telling you this. I feel like I shouldn't be telling you this. I feel like this is like inside info, but he like mingles with the audience if you go early. But yeah. Oh, Jeff Goldblum on Disney. I've been wanting to check that out myself. I had the privilege of meeting him. I went and saw Annie perform with him down in Rochester. And she invited me up on the stage afterwards, and I got to shake his hand. And we talked about Canada, where his wife is from, apparently. Very, very warm, pleasant human being. I don't know how he does it, because so many people were like just clamoring to meet him. And like there was this moment in the show where he came down into the audience very gracefully, like, and went and shook hands and hugged someone who had like their grandparents. There was this like young teenage girl whose grandparents had bought her tickets to the show because she just absolutely loves Jeff Goldblum, and you know, who doesn't? And the grandparents had emailed the tour manager and asked whether or not she would have a chance to meet him. And this was all unbeknownst to this girl. And so there was one point where he came down to the audience and walked and eventually got to her and gave her a big hug. And she was like in tears and super excited. It was beautiful. And then just the audience kind of erupted with people like getting out of their seats and like kind of going to him like he was like a prophet or something. Which he kind of is. Like, if there's a celebrity that might be channeling some sort of spiritual guru, I feel like it's Jeff Goldblum. There's something about the guy that just like is like, damn, I want some of that. Like, whatever you are putting out into the world, I feel like that is something that I could adopt in my own life. Very inspiring guy. I look up to the guy. So anyways, yeah, there were like, he went upstairs at one point to say hello to an actor who he had worked with, and people followed him up the stairs. Like, people like got up out of their seats and were just like, I'm gonna get a selfie with Jeff Goldblum. Like, it just like, it was, he was very graceful about it, or gracious, whatever the word is. But he, like, yeah, I just, it was clearly that these people were being, you know, it wasn't really their place to do this, but he allowed it. He still went with it, and I guess he's used to it. Fantastic human being, fantastic musician as well. So yeah, I think he's on tour. I think they just finished a tour. But I'll let you guys know when he's back on tour and what cities he's going to be going to, because he goes all over. And again, if you ever go to Seattle, don't tell anybody I told you this, but you go a little bit before the show. You might get a chance to talk with him and have like a back and forth with him. Oh yeah, what do you say? I read some shit. Enough of my life stories. God, who do I think I am? Who do I think I am? Thinking that I have interesting things to talk about in my own life. I fart in your general direction. Your mother was a hamster, and your father smelled of elderberries. That is a horrible French accent. I'm not even trying anymore. Oh, come on up to the house. Come on up to the house. Come on up to the house. Oh, good one, Eric. I'd love to be a fly on the wall at his concert, Eric says. Oh, bye, Zia. Thank you so much for hanging out. Love. I send all my love. Sleep. Sleep. Okay, I think I'm going to do one more. Maybe, you know what? Maybe I will do the egg. I will narrate the egg. I think I've read it before. But I'm going to read it again. Let us see here. The egg. What did he say? I think he sent it. Oh, he sent it above, didn't he? Gotta scroll on up to the post. Scroll on up to the post. There it is. Galactanet. So, Antonio, to give you a little bit of context, I don't know if you knew this. So, the Invictus stream is my role-playing channel that I get together with my friends from a long time, since high school, and beyond for some of them. And we play role-playing games every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Obviously not this Wednesday because we're doing Justin Reeves. But yeah, it's usually role-playing games. I believe Joe and Harlan were playing Alien RPG last week and the week before. And then we've done Call of Cthulhu. We've done Dungeons and Dragons, obviously. Who hasn't? Shadowrun, Deadlands, Numenera. A whole schwack. That's a shlew and a whack. And yeah, that's where this is where I started. Yeah, role playing. Really? Oh, no, not role playing. I was role playing before Invictus, but yeah, definitely where I started streaming more and getting more comfortable speaking aloud and developing my passion for creating something. Which very much, I think Invictus led to sound booth theater. It was a very natural progression for me because Invictus, like it was, what got me started narrating was narrating Harlan's short stories. And then we posted them on Invictus and creating these little productions of his short stories. And then it branched out into like me writing these little intros to games and narrating these you know, kind of mood bringer backer inners, like these little setting pieces at the beginning of games. You're vaguely aware of the role-playing aspect, haven't had the chance to see what goes on here. Who hasn't played Dungeons? Well, you are welcome here. You are welcome here. We welcome those new and we welcome those old, obviously. We welcome all people who are interested in role-playing games, whether it is just have an interest, just a peripheral interest, whether they want to play them, or whether they play them regularly and have played them for years. Yeah, we got you, man. You should join the Facebook group if you are interested in role-playing games. If you like that sort of thing, it's a good spot to learn more about it because this community fucking rocks. Okay, let's read this egg thing. The egg. That's, you know what? I think that might be why role-playing streams are so popular. Shows like Critical Role, and Why can't I think of any others? There's got to be more. Critical Role, Adventure, not Time, Adventure Zone. We started one. I mean, Invictus Stream, we have a lot of people watching, but Dice Shame, we started a podcast called Dice Shame, which, have you checked that out yet, Antonio? I think you'd really like it. It's just live play D&D. It's a lot of fun. I think that these shows, whether like actual visually or on a podcast, are so popular because of exactly that. Like I think people are interested in it and they want to be able to play, but they just don't have the right friends for it. And it was just a real shame, because it is such a great way to connect with people. It's one of the best ways to like spend time with your friends, I would say, is to have these characters and improvise together. It's so rewarding. So anyways, check out Dice Shame, brah. I think there's a link. Oh, there we go. I will let you in now. Willkommen. And I will make a post. Let's all give a warm welcome to this one. Sunboo Theater and a real cool dude. Smiley? You want a smiley in your welcome post? Yeah, I'm going to do a smiley. I'm going to do the super smile. Not delighted, no. Not delighted smile. All right, I just want the teeth one. All right, I'll do, no, not that one. Wonderful, not relaxed. Oh, those are feelings, that's why. Whoops, there we go, that's the one I want. Post. The really cool dude. There we go. Your cards hated you? Do you have a favorite? Share a picture of yours and Colin's favorite card, and I'll try to guess whose is whose favorite. Right? Okay. Yeah, the bug story. That's a shame, Mike. Your friends are wrong. Well, they're right. It is nerd stuff, but they're wrong to not go near it. You know what? I'm hearing something. When I talk like this, do you guys hear like a ringing? There's like a like a resonant frequency. Anywho, I'm going to read this story. All right, this is going to be the last story of the evening. I apologize for it being a little bit shorter, but yeah, I'm really happy to be here and catching up with you guys. You guys are awesome, and I miss you guys. I miss not being on the stream as much as I once was. But it's still going. We're still doing it. There will be more Justin Reeds, and there will be more different kinds of streams as well. I think there might be nights where I just feel like playing a video game and, just kind of like, a spooky stream, but probably not spooky because that's not really my jam. I'd probably do like a, Civilization. We'd start like a country together and make decisions together. Some shit like that. Here we go. I feel like I've read this, but I'm going to read it again. Yes, I definitely have. The Egg by Andy Weir. You were on your way home when you died. It was a car accident. Nothing particularly remarkable, but fatal nonetheless. You left behind a wife and 2 children. It was a painless death. The EMTs tried their best to save you, but to no avail. Your body was so utterly shattered, you were better off. Trust me. And that's when you met me.
What happened? You asked. Where am I?
You died, I said, matter-of-factly. No point in mincing words.
There was a truck, and it was skidding.
Yep, I said.
I died?
Yep. But don't feel bad about it. Everyone dies, I said. You looked around. There was nothingness. Just you and me.
What is this place? You asked. Is this the afterlife?
More or less, I said.
Are you God? You asked.
Yep, I replied. I'm God.
My wife, my kids, you said.
What about them?
Will they be all right?
That's what I like to see, I said. You just died, and your main concern is for your family. That's good stuff right there. You looked at me with fascination. To you, I didn't look like God. I just looked like some man, or possibly a woman. Some vague authority figure, maybe. More of a grammar school teacher than the Almighty. Don't worry, I said. They'll be fine. Your kids will remember you as perfect in every way. They didn't have time to grow contempt for you. Your wife will cry on the outside, but will be secretly relieved. To be fair, your marriage was falling apart. If it's any consolation, she'll feel very guilty for feeling relieved.
Oh, you said. So, what happens now? Do I go to heaven or hell or something?
Neither, I said. You'll be reincarnated.
Huh, you said. So, the Hindus were right.
All religions are right in their own way, I said. Walk with me. You followed along as we strode through the void.
Where are we going?
Nowhere in particular, I said. It's just nice to walk while we talk.
So, what's the point then? You asked. When I get reborn, I'll just be a blank slate, right? A baby? So all my experiences and everything I did in this life won't matter.
Not so, I said. You have within you all the knowledge and experiences of all your past lives. You just don't remember them right now. I stopped walking and took you by the shoulders. Your soul is more magnificent, beautiful, and gigantic than you can possibly imagine. A human mind can only contain a tiny fraction of what you are. It's like sticking your finger in a glass of water to see if it's hot or cold. You put a tiny part of yourself into the vessel, and when you bring it back out, you've gained all the experiences it had. You've been in a human for the last 48 years, so you haven't stretched out yet and felt the rest of your immense consciousness. If we hung out here for long enough, you'd start remembering everything. But there's no point to doing that between each life.
How many times have I been reincarnated then?
Oh, lots. Lots and lots. Time, as you know, only exists in your universe. Things are different where I come from.
Where you come from? You said.
Oh, sure, I explained. I come from somewhere else, and there are others like me. I know you'll want to know what it's like there, but honestly, you wouldn't understand. Oh, you said, a little let down. But wait, if I get reincarnated to other places in time, I could have interacted with myself at some point. Sure, happens all the time. And with both lives only aware of their own lifespan, you don't even know it's happening. So, what's the point of it all? Seriously? I asked. Seriously? You're asking me for the meaning of life? Isn't that a little stereotypical? Well, it's a reasonable question, you persisted. I looked you in the eye. Oh, where am I? There you are. I looked you in the eye. The meaning of life, the reason I made this whole universe, is for you to mature. You mean mankind? You want us to mature? No, just you. I made this whole universe for you. With each new life, you grow and mature and become a larger and greater intellect. Just me? What about everyone else? There is no one else, I said. In this universe, there's just you and me. You stared blankly at me. But all the people on Earth, all you. Different incarnations of you. Wait, I'm everyone? Now you're getting it, I said, with a congratulatory slap on the back. I'm every human being who ever lived? Or who will ever live, yes. I'm Abraham Lincoln. And you're John Wilkes Booth, too, I added. I'm Hitler, you said, appalled. And you're the millions he killed. I'm Jesus? And you're everyone who followed him. You fell silent. Every time you victimized someone, I said, you were victimizing yourself. Every act of kindness you've done to yourself. Every happy and sad moment, ever experienced by any human, was or will be experienced by you. You thought for a long time. Why? You asked me. Why do all this? Because someday you will become like me. Because that's what you are. You're one of my kind. You're my child. Whoa, you said, incredulous. You mean I'm a god? No, not yet. You're a fetus. You're still growing. Once you've lived every human life throughout all time, you will have grown enough to be born. So, the whole universe, you said. It's just an egg, I answered. Now it's time for you to move on to your next life. And I sent you on your way. Glad I read that. Forgot how that one went. Oh, man. You know what? I. Which one? Whose is whose favorite? I'm going to guess. I mean, Yveltal. Yveltal? Yveltal? I'm looking at the Pokemon cards that Carly and Colin. I know that's a quick switch. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We needed more time to let that kind of sink in before we jumped straight to Pokemon cards. Wow. Yeah. Okay. Let me give it some time. Yep. I am he as you are he as you are me, and we are all together. You find that horrifying, eh, Mike? I find it. I mean, this is something that I've listened to, spiritual teachers talk about this sort of thing. Not personally, like I'm talking about like Eckhart Tolle and Ram Dass and people like that. Especially Ram Dass. This had a lot of Ram Dass in it. Yeah, yeah. Oh, can you tell that I just read The Egg? Oh, it's so great. It's such a good story. I'm pretty sure I read that last time, but God, I think I'm just gonna read it every Justin reads. It's so good. And that would be, you know what? I'm gonna do that. Um, I'm just gonna read The Egg every time I do a Justin reads because A, it's just a fucking well written story. But B, I kind of love the idea of every time I read it, the characters have different voices. Like it's a different person every time, you know? Yeah, yeah, definitely. This was, yeah, I remember you recommending it and me being blown away the first time. Justin reads The Egg. Brilliant minds, guys. Brilliant minds. Yeah, no, seriously. I think I'm just gonna start every Justin Reads with Tom Waits and The Egg. End it with The Egg. Fuck though. Yeah, it's what how does it how do I feel about it? Yeah, so this is a message that pops back up to me, whether it's through like a spiritual teacher or through The Egg when I read it, and it's such a fucking great way of, I don't want to say tricking yourself into being a good person, but just like, it is such a, whether it's true or false, it's just a lovely thing to believe in. Because if you can believe this, if you can believe the concept that, you know, your joy is everyone's joy and everyone's joy is your joy, then I think it guides you to a better place, a place of better balance. Cuz I mean, it kind of takes the wind out of your sails to be selfish, because like, okay, yes, like, my joy is everyone's joy, so I might as well just make myself happy. I don't think there's a way to live and keep that and be completely self-absorbed and selfish when you live with that belief. Because no matter what, you're gonna, hit across the roads where you're like, okay, well, it doesn't matter if I get it. It doesn't matter if I'm happy. it matters just as much if I'm happy as if someone else is happy. So it might as well be them. Sometimes you'll be like, no, I think it's going to be me this time. Sometimes it's going to be them. But I don't even think it's going to be that, clear cut. I think that it just makes I don't even know if we need to talk about it. I don't even know if we need to break it down and logic it out. I think that the story speaks for itself. I think that the idea is very clear. And I think that if you can adopt that mindset into your life, whether or not it's true, whether or not any of the religions are true, or the Hindus or the Christians or whatever are right. It's just, I think it breeds good things when you know that you are adding to the collective egg or causing more suffering to the collective egg. But the neat thing about this is he's not just reiterating that point about, you are everybody. He's also saying that everybody in this world is this fetus, this being within the egg that is growing. And the way to grow is through lessons. And so when you are selfish, and when you are creating more pain in the world, when you are creating more pain for others, suffering, and when you're suffering, there's grace in that. Okay, how do I say that in my own words? You are providing the teaching to yourself. Yourself with a capital Y. It's like, yeah, I think that's articulated as well as I can put it. That the pain and suffering that we cause unto others, we are causing unto ourselves. But that is still all part of it. Shame, guilt, anger, all of those, negative things that we are, putting into the world are often the very cause of someone being able to adopt a mindset like this, where they're less attached to, themselves, and can be more empathetic, or empathic rather. I'm just thinking out loud, guys. It got deep real fast. We are in some deep snow. Life lessons with JTJ. As I stroke my beard, I need a Fu Manchu. I'm looking at my mic as if there's a camera in it, but there isn't, I've realized. I should be looking there. Yeah, that was nice. That's like, I feel good after reading that. Imagine a device to end all wars. Once activated, it releases an agent that puts everyone in the same mindset of Bob Ross and Mr. Rogers. Sounds creepy. It would be a very... Oh my god. I couldn't imagine that. Yes. Okay, well. Let's come back down to earth here. Thank you very much for joining me, everybody. This has been an absolute blast. I missed you guys. I love reading and hanging out and just chatting about life. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. And, man, Dice Shame, episode 7, it's going live in, pardon me, it's going live in 4 hours. 3 hours. 3 hours, right? Goes live at 1 a.m. Am I wrong? Natural 1. Maybe it's 1 a.m. Central. Anyways, check out Dice Shame. Get the name of the show right, Justin. Check out Dice Shame. I'm telling you guys, if you haven't listened to it yet, you're gonna love it. You know what? You know what I'm gonna do? You know what I'm gonna do for you? I'm gonna go www.diceshamepodcast.com. And I'm gonna share this link in the group. Bada bing, bada boom. Boom! There you go. There, now you don't even have to type things in your browser. Now you can just click on that, listen to the first episode, and get fucking hooked, brah. I think what Andy Weir is trying to say in The Egg is that we all need to listen to Dice Shame. Aliens. Yeah. So, check that shit out. I love it. You guys will love it. We'll all just be a big cornucopia of love. Cornucopia of love. What was that? It was like E-Bomb's World or some shit. Like some like... Anyways. Thank you guys for the stream. Thank you Mike, Kyle, and Terry Erickson for their submissions. Again, if you guys write your own little short stories, make it under 2,500 words, and I will narrate it on a stream. Because this shit's fun, you know? I would love to read more of your own creative efforts. So please, continue doing that. That is it from me. Mostly. I'll also do a plug for Sound Booth Theater. If you guys want to listen to more of me just narrating, you should check out the Sound Booth Theater live Discord chat. You know what? I can send an invite to you from here too. How do I do that? Oh, you know what? I'm going to do a invite to my booth. So I have a booth over on the Sound Booth Theater live Discord. And if you're ever just hanging out, like, you know, nothing to do during the day and you just feel like listening to me narrate the books that I narrate and just hang out, and sometimes I look at the chat, sometimes I'm really in it. If you want to hear me do funny voices and, you know, do things, then come join, come hang out. It's a good time. Good people over there. Good people like Antonio from Georgia. Not San Antonio. All right, everybody. That is it from me. Thank you all for a lovely night once again. Remember to be kind to others because you are Hitler, is what I learned today. Have a great night. And as my friend, Mr. T loves to say, I pity the fool that don't listen to Dice Shame. Yeah, pity that fool. All right. Good night, everyone.